Several people have asked me a little bit about how the social structure is within the Bigfoot. And that's really kind of hard to answer because, we don't get really hardly any real insight or observations. However, you kind of get a gut feeling for what's going on. So I'll give you my gut feeling, but this may change as we learn more. Okay? I talked about how sometimes Bigfoot has fun and the juveniles come down off the mountain and at night and harass the humans and practice hunting and have howling parties and stuff like that. This is all to prepare them for life. And as to whether or not the young males are forced out, I don't think they're forced out. I think it's a matter of they live with their family until they feel it's time for them to start their own family. And then I think they voluntarily leave and in search of a new mate. And I don't think it's just the males that do that. I think the females also do that. So I think that's their way of controlling inbreeding, which also kind of indicates a higher intelligence. Because most animals, when it comes time for their young to leave the nest, the parents shove them out. Don't have anything to do with them. Quit feeding them. Stuff like that. Sometimes it even gets violent to make the kid go away. But I don't get that feeling that happens. I do see a lot of young ones in the hot zone area. Most of them are not the big super guy. There's at least one big guy in there that's tremendous. But he mostly stays out of reach. He's mostly in the very remote recesses and highest peaks and stuff like that. And I think he's the one that gives the call for everybody to come home. And so yeah, I think basically they kind of hang around until it's time. I guess they get the urge, nature's urge, to go start their own family. And so yeah, we've seen most of the ones that we've seen are not the tremendously sized, brutish linebacker type guys. Okay, most of them are in the maybe 6 to 7 foot range. Some of them are very slender. My wife tells of her experience of seeing one, how it walked down the creek bed looking like it was showing off its gorilla suit. Head up, chest out, just doing a Saturday night, or what do they call it? John Travolta walking down the street, kind of doing that kind of a strut. So, they're kind of interesting characters to watch, and we're learning from them all of the time. Okay, there's another observation that I've been making lately, and the more primitive types, the ones that look more like apes and so forth, they seem to be more aggressive, and they really don't want anything to do with man. However, the ones that seem to come down to the camp and harass us down at the camp and take our food and that kind of stuff, those seem to be the human-faced ones, and they seem to be more curious. So that's just an interesting insight that I've been collecting. That's nothing that actually seeing a Bigfoot would tell you, other than over a period of time what's been happening. So we don't know too much about the primitives. I think the primitives have been moving into the hot zone more and more. The area is getting crowded because of the previous forest fires and the forest thinning that's been going on because of the forest fires, and the encroachment of man. Man is starting to spread out quite a bit on the Mogollon Rim. People are buying land to build cabins, and small towns are growing quite quickly. So yeah, there's an encroachment going, and to tell you the truth, I'm not sure how much longer Bigfoot will even stay in Arizona. So, I've got to try to make good use of my study time as I can. So that's what we're doing.